How to divorce is what we're talking about today on the East Central Business Show. I'm John Naylor. I'm joined by Helen Baker from On Your Own 2 Feet.
Hello.
And Shannon Daykin from Daykin Family Law.
Hi John, how you going?
Yeah, now thank you very much for coming in. Now Shannon, your first time on the show, welcome.
Yes.
You're an accredited specialist family lawyer?
Yes, I'm an accredited family law specialist, yeah.
Right, I thought I was going to get it the wrong way around, and I certainly did that. Anyway, okay. Let me get the disclaimer out of the way on behalf of both these ladies. So, of course, this is general discussion around the topic that we're doing today, and you should seek independent advice about your special situation. So, that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Anyway, now, let's get on with it. How to divorce. Now, is it just divorce, or, we're talking off camera about divorce being different from settlement? Shannon, maybe you jump in on that one.
Yeah, look, I think a lot of people get confused between the two and what we're essentially trying to do, but the divorce is a legal severance of your actual marriage, and that largely is paperwork, really, and that doesn't need to happen right away.
In fact, it can't, can it?
No, there's some waiting periods of 12 months you have to be separated for, and then there's a property settlement. So you don't have to have your divorce first to have your property settlement or to sort out arrangements for your children or spousal maintenance or anything like that.
And in fact, that's kind of important. That needs to happen pretty smartly, yeah?
Yeah, for a lot of people. I suppose us lawyers really see the people that want to move on at the stage that they come and see us. But it's usually a good idea to try and sort out the financial separation so you can move on with your life and move on to the next chapter.
So even in terms of that discussion or the official title for it, so it is a settlement, or what's the official legal term for that?
For property settlement?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we refer to it as.
Orders. What's the orders part like?
Yeah, so that'd be finalising your property settlement. So unless you do receive orders from the court about your property settlement or enter into what's called a binding financial agreement, unless you do one of those two things, you may not necessarily have a binding and enforceable property settlement. So there's time limits that apply, and all of those sorts of risks can apply if you don't finalise your settlement.
Okay. Well, we know that you guys have got an important role to play in a divorce and a settlement. And so, Helen, how about yourself? Where do you kick in? Where does...
Yeah, so what I'm trying to actually get out there more and more is for people to come and seek advice before they divorce. So a lot of people know they need the lawyer and they want to wrap that all up, but they don't tend to seek financial advice until after they've settled. So they come after they've settled, and usually they've got the wrong assets, and all the money that they fought for it's maybe have been eroded because they have to sell that asset now and wear the capital gains tax of that themselves as opposed to as a unit. So seeking advice before is really beneficial to help move the process along and to make sure that people end up with the right things.
Yeah, okay. Now, an important difference that I've come to understand is like a lawyer only acts for one party, can only act for one party, where, Helen, you find yourself sometimes working for both sides.
Yeah, in some ways
which seems
it's
like counterintuitive, but
yeah,
in one way, but yeah, go for it.
I think it's really helpful because then you're across both of the situations. So if you think about when you initially do financial advice, you're looking at the whole family situation, which includes the care of the children, it looks at insurances, it looks at superannuation, it looks at the investments. So when you're breaking those up, it's actually really good if the left hand and the right hand, you're still across both, so that you make sure that anything that they do considers both parties. Okay. So yeah, it doesn't happen a lot because you need couples to be fairly amicable in that situation, but and that's got its own challenges. But yeah, in a perfect world, that would be nice.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's talk about that as well. As one thing you both telling me off camera is you're not really there to be counsellors, and that's something to be avoided. Don't sit in front of your financial advisor or lawyer and do the emotional stuff, because that's not moving things forward. It's an expensive way to go, yeah?
I love what the lawyers say to their clients.
Yeah, that we can be an expensive counsellor for them. And at the end of the day, it's not a skill set that we have. We're not qualified counsellors. So separation is complex and it can be emotionally difficult for a lot of people. And we understand that, and we're sensitive to that for all our clients. But sometimes people benefit from some of that external support, and that can really be valuable to them, not only moving forward with their own life, but settling the past, which is what we're here to do for them. Because with those roadblocks, a settlement can be difficult. So sometimes, they're legal issues. Sometimes they're not so legal issues, and they're more emotional, and a counsellor can sit down with them and help them unpack the issue so they can move forward.
Okay, fantastic, yeah.
And from my perspective, I would say, like, when you're trying to help people understand the financial side, a lot of the times there's a fear in there. There's a lot of emotional bits that need unpacking, and a financial, getting that fixed at the start allows them to move forward. For other people, it kind of needs to be done in tandem because they're developing and growing as they go. And then for other people, it's just a complete roadblock. You could put a whole lot of financial scenarios in front of them, but they just cannot move because they're so locked up in there. So it's finding what's appropriate for different people. But I always say the legal team, the financial team, the emotional team is to get you sorted.
Yeah, so that covers off the sort of parties, and obviously ultimately, and the one that's best avoided is the actual law court system as a party to this process as well. But, you know, if it's done well, you can stay away, yeah? Yeah,
definitely. Going through the court process is often for most people extremely emotionally exhausting, expensive, can be a very long time of your life, and during that period you're essentially on hold. You can't move forward, so you're waiting for a decision. You give away all your control to the judge, and for a lot of people it's not satisfactory. So staying away from the land of the court is often the best way to go, and it should only be used in a last resort. And there's so many other options at the other end around just negotiating yourselves or through lawyers that are collaboratively trained, who, you know, all want to stay out of the courts as much as they can and just try and move forward to a settlement where everyone can just move on.
No, fabulous. All right. Well, look, anyway, this is all part of a multi-part series where we're going to sit here and punch out a bunch more videos yet. This is just episode 1. So if this is a subject that's important to you right now, then obviously there's going to be a repertoire of videos here for you to go and graze across and inform yourself around divorce. Now, Helen, divorce is a place that you like to work in as a financial advisor. You published, you know, now 2 books on the subject. So, you're on the call out. Now, how do people get more Helen Baker?
You're right. So they could probably Google Helen Baker and find me, or just go straight to our website, onyourown2feet.com.au.
Okay. And Shannon, how about you? How do people make contact with you?
Through our website, daykinfamilylaw.com.au, or just give me a phone call on 333 5645.
Okay, fabulous. All right, so that's the first of a multi-part series we're doing today on the subject of divorce and how various people play in that in that process, and how you can educate yourself. And we'll see you next time on the eCentral Business Show. So, just a general chat with Helen Baker, our resident expert financial planner on the eCentral Business Show. Helen, now, where does this passion come from about financial planning? We've just shot your first series. You've talked about you like it.
Yeah.
Where's that come from?
I didn't know to start with. So my background was originally more as a fixer. So I used to go into businesses and fix things and make things happen. So I think the combination of the finance background, the project management, the fixer, and dealing with people, 1, 2, 3, and here I am. Okay, fabulous. Now we're going to put a disclaimer up around us at the moment, so it's probably down here somewhere-ish. But, you know, it's really important that people understand that whatever we do in these episodes is not specific advice, yeah? No. So specific advice must be tailored to their personal circumstances. So we'll just be talking generally about bits and things, and if that interests them and sparks them, they can seek specific advice from there. Okay, so now how do people get their Helen Baker though? So there's a book and there's a website to make contact, yeah? Yeah, so there's a website, there is the book that you can buy. I'm on LinkedIn. You find me wandering around Brisbane. Okay. Leave me alone if I'm at the groceries. No. So yeah, just onyourown2feet.com.au is the hub of where you'll find everything you need to know, and really. That's the book title as well, isn't it? It is. What does that mean? It's all consistent. Okay, fabulous. All right, so that's a couple of great ways to get your Helen Baker, the resident expert financial planner on the eCentral Business Show.